thank you so much for being here and joining me today while I drink some tea and chat about some things. I'm so happy to be here. Summer says hello. Every time I film these chatty videos, she loves to come see what's happening and who I'm talking to. I think she's confused. She's like, Mom, you're kind of crazy. Yeah, it's true. She loves to join me and she's always curious. I actually was planning on filming something different this week, but due to weather circumstances and the snow, as well as breaking my tripod recently, and I'm still waiting for my new one, I figured I would just do a sit-down chatty video because I still wanted to post something this week and I figured this would be the perfect video. So if you would like to join me for some tea while I chat about some random topics that I've been thinking about lately, then do so and make a nice hot cup of tea. Today I made some rose tea. It's really good for skin detoxing, and I also got this new mug. Isn't it just the cutest thing ever? It's so cheeky and cute. I got it at Goodwill for I think like 50 cents or something, so yeah. I love collecting mugs, but I've gotten to the point where it's filling up my whole cabinet, so I need to be a little more picky now. I know during this season and this time of year, we are very antsy for the next season, and we're kind of tired of winter, and it's getting a little old, especially with this resurgence of cold weather and snow. I don't know where you live, but where I live, last week it was 60 degrees and actually pretty warm. All the birds were out, the flowers are blooming, and it kind of gave me this hope for spring. I kind of let my mind get carried away thinking that this was going to be the start of a warm season for us. And unfortunately, 2 days after those warm sunny days, it started snowing. And there is a winter storm coming through this part of the world. So I think that my mind was just not ready for that. And unfortunately, I've been in another winter slump round 2, and it has hit me even harder this time because I think I'm honestly just so ready for spring, as I think everyone is, and I'm really trying to be okay with the winter right now and appreciate this because soon it will be gone and I will miss it, and hope for the next winter season. I've just been super unmotivated lately and feeling a little lazy and down on myself. I've also been on my phone way too much, and this is an issue I've been having. I definitely have a cell phone addiction again, and it's really embarrassing and makes me feel really bad about myself. I think we really forget how addicting phones can be and social media. And although I don't have a lot of forms of social media, I still find myself trying to look for something on my phone to do, and it's so silly and, like I said, embarrassing, because there's so much that I can be doing around the house or outside, even though it's quite cold and snowy. I think I've been letting that be an excuse for why I spend just hours on my phone for no reason and with no purpose or intention. So I put my phone up today, out of sight, so I can really just focus on other things. And I think it's good to be bored sometimes because, I don't know, we can just notice things that maybe we don't always notice. Yesterday I was just staring at my cat and like analyzing her fur and her patterns on her. I know that's random, but it's just something that you don't really do when you're just carried away and trying to distract yourself with other things. So I really enjoy just noticing the little things and the details. And I think that makes us way more creative, especially if you, I don't know, draw or write. I feel like noticing the small details and everything is really helpful, and I've been trying to do that. But if you are also in a winter slump, don't worry. Just be easy on yourself. I know it's hard, and it's easy to feel bad about yourself when you're not being productive, but spring is coming soon. It will come, and we will be okay. Right now, it just feels like you can't even imagine a time when it will be warm. You are not alone in that, and I've been struggling too. I'm really happy that I got ready today. I feel like I always feel so just icky in my body when I don't get up and get a different outfit on from what I slept in and nourish my body, drink water. And those are all things that can make us feel so much better. It's just finding that motivation to do so is really hard during this time. But yeah, just finding my way through all this. Something that I have been thinking about lately is embracing my womanhood and embracing that feminine energy in myself. I am at this weird age where I'm no longer a teenager, I'm still a young adult, but I don't fully feel like a woman yet, if that makes sense. This time before you have children, yet the time after you no longer resonate with your teenage self is such an interesting time, and I'm really trying to lean into my womanhood more and my maturity and just live more in my feminine energy. I don't know if that makes sense, but I am 23. I'll be 24 this year, and this age has really been interesting, and I've been reflecting on choices that I've made in the past few years, and I feel this transition period of leaning into my womanhood and really letting myself mature. I feel like I've been in this little weird spot where subconsciously I wasn't letting myself really be a woman and be mature. I feel like I've been living in this immature cycle where maybe my attitudes or my views are a little immature. Especially in today's society, I feel like we want to remain in our youth, and aging is really looked down upon, and I think that we feel this pressure to remain young and youthful, and that kind of makes us stay stagnant in our maturity, and it really keeps us from becoming the women that we're able to be. I haven't really struggled with this necessarily, I just don't think I even noticed it. I think this was all subconscious and societal, and I just didn't even notice that I was maybe doing this or neglecting this part of myself. But as I realized this, I really just want to let myself grow into a woman and embrace that and not keep myself in a cycle that I've been in for the past few years. And although those times were still me and part of myself, I just want to kind of shed that skin. Yeah, become a woman. I don't know if this makes sense, but I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think lots of us tend to stay in that. It kind of goes along with the male gaze. I think that we feel like we have to dumb ourselves down. Sometimes for men, if that's what you're attracted to or if that's what you surround yourself with, I feel like women tend to do that, or I tend to do that. And I'm just ready to break that cycle. There's something so freeing about embracing your aging process and realizing that age comes with wisdom if you allow it, and that it's all beautiful. All these seasons of our lives are beautiful, and as we age we just grow more in tune with ourselves, again, if we allow ourselves to, which I really want to. And I actually was reading over my journal and past entries from like a few months ago. I wrote down my like dream woman, who I want to be, and in that I put my mental and my physical attributes that I want to have. And in my physical I wrote that I always want to be a woman who is smiling, and I want my face to show for it, meaning that I want smile lines, because I feel like, you know, our wrinkles show for it. I think especially our first fine lines when we're this age come with our expressions that we use the most, and I want that to be my smile lines, and I want to embrace those because I just think it's so beautiful when people have smile lines. It shows that they're smiling more or laughing more, and I just want to emulate that and let myself accept that part of myself because it's beautiful. In a time where Botox and filler are a major thing, I think seeing people with fine lines to show that we are human and that we have expression, and over time continuing those expressions over and over again can change our faces and leave those marks on our skin. I just think that's such a cool concept, and I just don't like how we let it be this ugly or not really attractive trait. And obviously that is because we keep ourselves in this youthful state. But I think if we just let ourselves grow out of that, then we could see the beauty that it is, because it's so beautiful. And I think our life experiences are so beautiful, and what better way to show for that than in a physical appearance, to show others that it's okay too. Also with this, I was thinking about letting myself lean into my feminine energy more, because I definitely lean into the more masculine energy and side of things, especially in the last few years. Part of it was spiritual growth for me, and some of it was necessary, because I found that in 2019, I think, prior to that, I was always wearing makeup every day. I didn't think I was beautiful without makeup. I was really into fashion, which I'll get into more, but it was all these physical attributes, and I was just tired of looking in the mirror and only liking myself with something on me that wasn't me. I wasn't actually spiritual much at the time, but I just had that realization that I no longer wanted to hold on to things that weren't me. I just wanted to like myself without makeup. So I stopped wearing makeup as much in 2019. I was also in college, and I was actually living in Sacramento at the time. Being in that side of things. I think naturally I just felt the need to do that because you're around all these people. It was also fun to dress up and care more about fashion because, I don't know, that was more of a creative expression for me. But when I found that I was cleaning on to the makeup side of things and altering my face instead of enhancing my natural features, I feel like sometimes we need to step out of our feminine energy just to kind of get hold of ourselves and appreciate our natural beauty more and attach ourselves less to our physical appearance and the toxic side of beauty and the beauty industry today. But yeah, I think I'm back in this cycle where I've spent quite a few years not attaching myself to what I wear or makeup or anything, and now I'm in this healthy relationship with those things, and I kind of want to step into those more because I love creative expression. And now that I have this non-attachment to those things, I think it'll be really fun to experiment with. Really what stuck out to me is fashion and getting back into that. I've really fallen out of that in the past few years, which is really interesting because I've always loved fashion, and growing up I've always loved coming up with outfits and doing little try-on parties with myself and fashion shows for my family, showing them the new clothes that I got. I've just always loved that. And in high school, I actually started really enjoying fashion and the fashion industry and educating myself more on things, always seeing what was on trend. And that was a big part of myself. My grandma is also a seamstress and I learned how to sew. So I've always kind of been exposed to the fashion side of things. In college, I really fully went into it. That was back when I had an Instagram and I was posting photos of my outfits all the time. I also actually had a YouTube channel back then, which is crazy. It was not this channel and it was a lot different. But in 2018, I started a YouTube channel and it was a lot more fashion based. But I did thrift back then. So it was mostly thrift hauls and styling and things like that. It's just crazy how much I've changed since then, and to see like our different seasons of our life is so interesting. Although I don't resonate with that person anymore, I can appreciate her and learn from her and maybe even take parts of that into my life now. And I think that's so beautiful. It's just crazy how many stages we go through. That will always be amazing to me. Anyways, I do want to step into fashion again. I'm ready for it. And with a new mindset about it, a more healthy relationship, I would like to kind of, I don't know, express myself and have more fun with it. Maybe post a little more content based on fashion on this channel every now and then. It won't be a lot because I love what I'm doing right now and I love sharing nature focused content or lifestyle based content, as well as talking about these things on here. That's my main focus on this channel and I want it to stay that way, but I would love to like sprinkle a little bit of fashion content on here. So yeah, it won't be often and it will definitely be different than how I used to do it, but I'm really excited to lean into that feminine part of myself and let myself have fun. I think it's so cool how we can come back to things and revisit them with the experiences that we've had and see how our relationship changes with things, because that's also just part of getting older and gaining more life experience. I went to a women's retreat last year and I'm going again actually this year, but it was such a, I don't want to say shocking experience, because it was quite honestly one of the best experiences of my life and taught me so much and changed my relationship with so many things. But it was a big shock to me in a way that I was never exposed to lots of the things that I witnessed there, and my relationship with women completely shifted. I was actually raised with predominantly women in my life and mostly single women, and I think it's interesting because although I was surrounded by all of these women, I kind of ended up resenting women later on, just due to like friendships that I had and family relationships that I had. I think I kind of felt a lot of trauma regarding women and let that seep into my whole view of women in general. And I think that's really sad, but I think I was really meant to go to that retreat and be surrounded by women, so many beautiful women who were just so in tune with their feminine energy and their womanhood. And it was the most inspiring, necessary experience for me. it really raised lots of these things in my mind because I didn't really realize how much I held against women, and being a woman, that is really sad. But I know lots of women probably have experienced this as well. I really recommend that if you have trauma with women and find yourself not being able to connect with your womanhood, going to women retreats is a really good way. It's really scary if you haven't gone before, but once you get there, it's incredible, and I promise you'll meet so many lovely people and feel so welcomed and embraced. I don't know if I've even made sense in this video because these are semi-new realizations that I've come to. I think I said this in my last chat, but sometimes I find it hard to express myself through words. It's something that I'm trying to get better with, and I know that doing this will allow me to improve immensely because I'm able to practice just speaking my mind and putting it into words that I feel like are accurate to what I'm trying to put out. Editing these videos also helps me because I think of other words that I could have used to better describe how I feel about things. I hope that some of it made sense to you. If you related to it, awesome. I'm so glad that I can connect with and relate with so many people, but if not, I completely understand because this is a topic that's, I don't know, I haven't really talked to other women really about this. I've seen a couple women on YouTube talk about this in some way, but I don't really see a lot of women that have had past traumas with other fellow women post things on here. But I hope you're having a good winter, and let me know what the temperatures are where you live because I know there's some people who are dealing with tons of snow and maybe negative degrees, and then some people are just in the mild areas and it probably feels more like spring to you. So yeah, let me know. I'm always curious. I'm gonna drink the rest of my tea and reflect on this conversation. I am so grateful for everyone who watches my videos, and yeah, thank you so much for being here. All right, bye.